For 25 years, I've spent my life playing the most dangerous game, and that's believing that the universe would reward me for my selflessness. When in reality, all that did was make me less of myself. It took me a long time to realize that out many years, what feels like too late. I looked in the mirror one day, I didn't even recognize who I was. I realized that I had nothing as well because I spent my life building this ladder up for other people. Family, friends, relationships, it didn't matter who. If someone needed something, I was there. You know, I gave time I didn't have. I gave money I couldn't spend. I gave energy I couldn't refill. And all of that was in hopes to receive some type of notice, maybe. I didn't want praise. I just wanted someone to understand how much I cared and maybe to show up for me when I was in need. And one day that happened, trials and tribulations. I was at a low place in my life. No one showed up for me. These people that I call family, no one showed up for me. And in that dark moment of introspection, I realized that selflessness without boundaries is simply just self-erasure, right? Now you're nothing. Now you have nothing. I had nothing. Self-erasure, self-neglect. I was too busy pouring from an empty cup, thinking that somebody would pour into me, pour back. That's pretty much the first mistake I made, Expectations, thinking that I had to give, to receive something back. I realized that being there for everyone else means nothing if you're not there for yourself, right? And the hardest question to answer in a moment like that is who you are. Who are you? Who are you? Because at this point, you realize that you've dug a hole for yourself, and now to change, it's gonna come with resistance. It's hard to change that image of you that is very forthcoming, selfless, overly extending, right? People will reject that. The moment you come and you start to put your foot down and say no. But it doesn't matter, man. If you need to clean your slate of relationships, if you need to be alone, go ahead. Because I had to start changing the little things. I had to start saying no and meaning it, right? I had to stop explaining myself to people. I used to love explaining myself to people. I used to love thinking, maybe if I feel that gap, that void of question or whatever in somebody's mind, no, bro, you don't even have to say shh. But there was a great peace that came with that. It was heavy at first. It felt strange. It felt like silence after just years of noise and what can I do now? What can I? Nah, but slowly that silence started sounding and feeling like peace. I learned that balance doesn't mean being cold. It means being conscious, right? Giving but not draining. Loving but not losing. But unfortunately, a lot of people saw me giving love at the expense of my loss and did do nothing about it. They didn't do anything about it. I'm gonna point you in the right direction, my selfless one. So if you're watching this right now and you feel tired, like you've been everything for everyone but nothing for yourself, this message is for you. You're allowed to rest. This needs to be behind the wheel. Right? Forget about them, she, he, they. Nah, forget all that. This needs to be the pilot in your mind. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to sleep. You're allowed to put yourself first. That's not selflessness, that's self-preservation. Don't let the world guilt you out of loving yourself, because the world needs the real you, not the burned out, half-present version of you. You have to start giving from a full cup. Put you first, and you have to, something has to break. Something has to break, man. You deserve the same love, the same energy and care that you've been given to everyone else. And when you finally learn to pour into yourself first, that's when your giving becomes powerful again, right? Because a full heart gives better than a hurting one, an empty one. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who's been given too much. Please, tell them to stop. Tell them be selfish, be a little more selfish. And remember, taking care of yourself isn't quitting on people. It's choosing to stay alive long enough to keep shining, and that's it.